I can even see the excitement on your face. And I'm sorry for not being there. It's just in the weekends, always the PCR test result in my place gets late. So,
Doctor, you're home? I thought you're in university.
actually, I didn't get the PCR result, and it takes me almost 50 minutes to reach there. So, I informed at 5 p.m. around. Melvin and Alia was supposed to come today. Alia is also there, Melvin?
I leave, doctor.
Oh, but you are in the class. Thank you.
Yes.
It's okay, stay here. Today we will be doing practical class, total practical of everything we have learned so far.
Sure.
We will be downloading data, not from finance.com only, but also some other data, because in the last class we have learned for APM, APT, we need some macro variables. So we will see how we can use all these data. For Excel sheet itself, even though it is required for practical classes, but since you have to enter your formula, it will be a revision for your formulas for the midterm too. Midterm, there will be no Excel sheet. And if you remember, I have showed you the Excel sheet for project.
Yes.
That is very comprehensive. There are some topics which we are not which we have not covered till now, and it's like maybe 2 weeks after the midterm. If I will take project at that time, it will be too late for us, because then Ramadan will start. Moreover, I'm planning for a guest lecture for you guys, hopefully, inshallah, on the 9th or 10th week. So that's why I'm simplifying that worksheet. What we are doing today will be what we will be needing for our project.
Sure.
So whatever we will be doing today is needed for our project. Learn it properly today. After the midterm, we will be having a date on which all of you have to come and have to do the same thing. Okay, but you have to make some homework before that, like which data you will be choosing, from where you will be choosing, how you will be writing quick summary. You can even bring that summary with you, because as I said, project will be completely open book, even open internet. But it's just the Excel sheet will be a little simpler than the one I showed you there. Okay.
Doctor, regarding the midterm
Topics for the midterm, whatever we have learned so far. We have learned only the calculation, right? Even the first chapter, from the third slide, it started calculation. So even if a theory question comes, it will be like small or medium sized.
So, doctor, we will do revision for midterm.
Revision of what? What, the thing which you have already practiced 100 times in the classroom?
Yeah, exactly.
Doctor, there is a lot of theory in that. Like 40 slides, 45 slides.
Don't go into that. I'll tell you the theory slides. Don't worry. Inshallah, in the coming days, I'll upload the theory, like not on the portal, but in the Teams. The important slides for theory.
Sure, sure. That's better,
Okay.
doctor.
Yeah. For calculation, whatever we have practiced in the classroom. And no Excel in the midterm. That is for project. Okay.
Doctor, project is after the midterm, eh?
Yes. But what we will be doing today is needed for that. Just a second, let the one finish. I'll start then. Sure.
So today we are not gonna study anything from midterm, only for the project.
Yes. We will be entering formulas in the Excel sheet, which is needed for the midterm. Like CAPM, APT, all these things, beta. Abdul Rahman, don't tell me you're in the class today. This guy must be, you're spying on me. And she will not come, I'll come. Yeah, you're absent throughout
Doctor,
it today.
in the class today?
Why you are asking if you are not supposed to come, huh? Okay, all of you please open the Excel sheet. From your laptops. Can I have some more cameras? There is no girl today. Dunya, Fatma, Amani,
Doctor,
Alia,
one
thank you.
minute. I will be at home. I will open my camera.
Alia, drive safe. Drive
Okay.
safe, please. You can recover later. Just drive safe. And it is recorded, okay? Everything is recorded.
Okay, doctor.
So open the Excel sheet. Now let me show you the things we have covered. We have covered the holding period HPR return, right? And we have covered standard
HPY.
deviation. No need for HPY right now. Standard deviation, then covariance and
Correlation.
variance or correlation. Yeah, variance also correlation. Then beta, then CAPM, then APT, right? What we have to do first is download the data for two stocks, and index and one macro variable. Okay. Any two stocks which we are intending to invest in, then this index which we need to get for comparison and for calculation of beta, then macro variable which we need for APT. Okay. Let me show you first, then you guys have to do by your own. And here you can ask me 100 times, but in project you will not be able to ask me. You can ask your peer during the project, and you can check your notes or Google or whatever. Yahoo Finance, for example. I'm trying to have some more access for our data. Maybe Refinitiv we will be having for that. Okay. Let's take crude oil and gold because they are behaving just opposite to each other. Crude oil data. So we will be choosing the two indexes or two stocks for crude oil and gold. Okay. And we can take index as S&P. Let's take S&P. The crude oil is just going opposite to everything else. S&P data I'll be taking index, and macro variable. The most common or easily available is usually inflation rate. So I'll take inflation rate. You can take anything else. Like for example, inflation rate can affect or does affect gold prices and also affect the crude oil. You can also have terrorism index for the crude oil, and you can have unemployment rate for the gold. Any kind of macro variable you can choose. You can Google some more, the kind of industry you're choosing or kind of stock you're choosing. And this is something you have to do before coming for the project. That choose your stocks, and after that choose some macro variable, and the data is usually available in Word database. It's like Word Bank.
Dr. Macro variable, like how do we choose?
Any macro variable, the most common are, as I said, inflation. You can have GDP growth, or you can have unemployment rate.
So it's going to be under the stock.
No, the data of it. Not under
Yes,
the stock.
the
You will not
historical.
find its data. You will not find its data from the yahoo.com. You will not find any historical period return or adjusted ending value or something like that. It will be straight data of that thing. But there will be variation in that data. For example, if I'm choosing inflation rate, oops, sorry. Crude oil, gold, and S&P, I can easily choose from Yahoo. Here it is shown here, crude oil, gold, and S&P. Whatever you're trying to choose, you can Google, or they can have here around. But macro variable data, the best source is World Bank data. You will find all those kinds of data for every country. Right now, since I picked these two things, and here it is representing for US, so I'll take US inflation rate. Or you can simply Google that, inflation rate US for say 2021. I'll prefer to take it monthly basis because daily basis inflation rate are usually not available. And remember, the frequency should be matched. monthly inflation rate. So monthly return you have to choose. Inflation rate for US. Any good website? Statistica is paid. Trading Economics is also paid. Bloomberg is paid. We are having one source, Refinitiv. Inshallah, soon I'll be getting its username and password. Then I can help you in retrieving data through that. YCharts is not paid. Okay, so this is our data, yes, and they do have monthly data for the inflation of US. So this figure we need. Okay, the variation happening in this figure. You see the inflation rate, how much from 1% to 5, 6, 7, and so on. So let's start. We have chosen the variables: crude oil, gold, S&P, and inflation.
Doctor, I have a question. Two stocks, so you chose the oil and gold?
Yes.
And S&P is index?
Yes, S&P is index.
Okay.
If you remember, when we have to calculate beta, then we compare the stock with the index variation.
Yes.
So for that, we need one index.
Okay.
Okay, and for APT, we need macro variable. You take one variable, two variable. We have learned in our last class that as many variables as you can consider. That does not, this is the drawback of APT approach, that it does not say how many macro variables you're supposed to take, but minimum one you have to take. Beta has to be calculated for at least one macro variable along with the beta of stock. Okay. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So these are all are the stuffs we need to have, and okay, so we have date. You just try to make it with the good format and all that. Then we can have crude oil. Type Cunningham. Then we have gold. We have S&P. And we have inflation. Wait. Okay. And after that, we need to calculate the HPR for these three. HPR for crude oil, HPR for gold, and HPR for S&P. Then what is the next thing? We have to calculate the average, then standard deviation, then covariance, then correlation, and standard deviation for all three of that. We will be writing in like this, first, second, third, like this we will write instead of making extra columns now. Or shall I make a standard deviation of this and this and this? And when it comes, then we'll discuss. Standard deviation, covariance, correlation, then beta, APM, and then APT, right? Ooh, what is this? Tahoma times. Let's check the data now for crude oil. Historical data. And frequency should be monthly because inflation rate and usually macroeconomic data are very difficult to get on weekly basis. Sorry, daily basis. If you find weekly or daily basis, that is best to do because that will give you more accurate results. But if you are not finding, then you can have monthly. So in the same, yes?
But you said if we're gonna pick a monthly inflation rate or whatever, we have to other thing be monthly as well.
Yeah. This is the
so
crude
we're gonna
oil.
always choose here monthly.
if you are choosing, if you are finding inflation rate monthly basis, see, I found it monthly basis. So that's why I converted the rate of crude oil into months. If you're finding any data, macroeconomic data on daily basis or weekly data, then you can convert, like other variables are also given, but they are all usually given monthly basis. If you find anything from World Data Bank or any other source on daily or weekly basis, then the stock price also you have to convert to daily or weekly basis. The frequency of all the data should be same. Okay, so since inflation we are taking a monthly basis, I converted that from the frequency, convert it into monthly and then apply. Now this is monthly basis, February 1st to here, because it's not yet finished. I'll take from 1st February. Let me see from, okay, January till January we have data, so I'll take from January. Inflation is given from January, so I'll take the crude oil prices from January. And let's take it for 1 year at least. Oh, need a... Okay, they are showing till March. How many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Fine. Let's take it for 10 months. As we know, I'm opening another slide here in order to retrieve the exact figure I want. Oh, I did not take the... It's 1st and 6th, second last I need. This I don't need. So this is the crude oil data. Then let's open the gold. Try to choose the stocks which are looking into like different. Like here it is, one is going up and then this coming down. So they are having just opposite betas. And gold is having positive beta with stock. S&P and gold is having direct relationship, whereas crude oil is not looking to have positive beta with stock, with the index. Okay, here also change it to monthly. This is the gold price. And we will be taking it from January. Let's copy it somewhere else so that the relevant. I need the second last. And the first column, not even the first column, I just need this. The gold price. Now let's open.
You take only the opening price?
Adjusted closing price. Adjusted closing price only. I deleted the middle columns. This is the reason I opened a separate window here. Sorry. Okay. Here I opened a separate window so that I could delete all the extra columns. And I just chose the, see, 1795 is the adjusted closing one here.
Okay.
Okay. S&P. Try to avoid taking things which I am taking so that we can practice when you're learning at home. Historical
Doctor, I
data.
took exactly what you took.
Right now it's fine because you're practicing with me. Then later on when you'll practice alone, choose something else. And when you will be doing project, this is not the only thing you have to do. You have to write a little about the stock you are choosing. These kind of stuff you can bring with yourself. As I said, it is open book, so you can bring your extra stuffs. But to retrieve data, to calculate everything, that you have to do in the class. And that is the project about. And I'll see who is having the best portfolio. Okay, now let's take the S&P data. Just stop me when you're not understanding anything. And again, we need this column only. This is S&P data. I took extra. January. Is coming extra here. March 1st. Okay, I'll be deleting first March because it is basically Feb data. Then come to the inflation rate, which is, as I said, will not be available in Yahoo Finance. You have to search. World Bank is the best source for getting any macroeconomic variable. You see World Data Bank. World Bank open data. Whatever you will be typing here, they will be showing. GDP. So GDP of all that. Inflation. Inflation of all of that. Consumer price, deflator. Consumer price is best. Or unemployment. Unemployment total rate. There, what they usually give is for the whole world. So if you are specific about the country, you can download it. I think I have some more downloaded data here. So for example, CPI, which is the inflation rate. And no, this is not from World Bank data. Use the one from World Bank data. This is the one CPI, sorry. So this is how it opens. And the data is here. You can choose your country, whichever country's stock you're taking. And for example, you have taken Emaar and Etisalat, which is favorite of all of you. So just go to United Arab Emirates. And here's the inflation rate given. But the problem usually happens in World Bank data, you find the weekly and daily data very rare, or monthly data very rare. Okay, from 2008 onwards, you will be getting data for UAE. There are countries who are having record from which year? My goodness, 1960. They have started recording their data, like Australia started in 1960 onwards. Our country started from 2008 onwards. Anyway, so World Bank data is one of the best source you choose, and sometimes you even choose quarterly or weekly or monthly base. You also have to write that. Sorry, any variable along with monthly data. Population, total number of population. Any variable you can choose. Total number of female or male or labors, whatever data, you can Google some more. You are finding might affect the company or the industry you're choosing. So since I have already taken this US inflation here on daily basis, I could not find daily inflation rate in World Bank. So I separately Googled and I found it here. And that's why I'm choosing it. How many? I think till Feb or March. Till March, yes.
How many economy variables do we have to choose? Like, can we only choose an unemployment?
Actually, if you will see now, when we will be growing this Excel sheet, choosing more will become a little complicated for you, but will give you more accurate and better results. So if you're comfortable in calculation, you can choose more. If you're finding it, hodgepodge or chaotic, then stay on one or two variables. But usually people prefer two variables. I am choosing here one because to keep things more simple. Inflation rate. Again, I'll be opening it in a separate sheet so that I can pick only the data I need. Do this one. January 2022 onwards, which is here, January 2022 onwards inflation rate. It's extra. Okay, we got all the data. Now the rest is something we have to do, right? HPR for crude oil. Either you put the LN formula or the one which we have learned. That is the, sorry, it starts from the second column from here. This minus this divided by this. And then double click, it calculated all, then drag it till here, it calculated all. If you want to confirm, see D3, D2, D2 is SP, D is SP and it calculated for SP, it calculated for gold, it's C2, C3, which is C is for gold. Okay? Shall I repeat or it's understandable?
It's clear, doctor.
Okay. Then the average. Now what I'm doing is I'll be calculating these things average as like vertical. Instead of making average of crude oil, average of gold, average of S&P, I'll be writing average of crude oil, average of gold, average of S&P. It's fine or I extend?
It's fine, doctor. It's fine.
Okay, fine. So the first one will be the average of crude oil. Always calculate everything over the return. After calculating return, forget the previous data you have collected. Now our whole calculation will be working on this return. Okay. Let me check if I do this, then will it be doing? No, it's not working. Oh, sorry. So it means for average, we have to choose every time, now average of gold. And then average of S&P return. Okay, then standard deviation, again, life is easy in Excel. Standard deviation for the sample, and we will be choosing the returns of crude oil and standard deviation return of gold and standard deviation return of S&P. Covariance, we have to calculate for the gold. With the index and with the stock itself. Let's calculate the covariance of crude oil with the gold. Let's do one thing. Sorry. Let's start this data from here.
Ma'am, you can give.
Yes.
I mean, maybe you can give each one of them a color. So it's.
That's what I'm saying. Make it beautiful. You make it beautiful, okay?
Sure,
if I start giving color, then till midnight I'll be teaching. Then let's have standard deviation. Standard deviation for this is the standard deviation, right? And S&P. It's fine like this, right? It's average of these three, average of standard deviation of these three, right?
Yes, doctor.
When you will be making, you better make it like this. Keep extending the slides. Make it more wider. Now, covariance, we have to calculate for all of them. First is what is the relationship of the risk of gold and the crude oil. The reason of doing it is if they are having a positive relationship, the risk is direct. Then it means we can take similar decision for both of them. If the covariance is not in a similar way, then the decision should be opposite to each other. So let's take the covariance of crude oil with the gold. It has minus relationship, and we even saw there that they are moving opposite. And we can also have covariance with later we will see with the index. S&P. Where do I write? Covariance of stock with S&P. Here I write. Suggest me. Now I need to calculate the covariance of one stock with the index. And if you remember, we need this for beta. Is so silent.
Doctor, for the
Doctor, you can
covariance, we
insert
need
the
to
slide.
include the index or what?
Actually, right now, this covariance is the relationship of risk between two stocks. This one. For the beta, we need covariance of the stock with the index. So, well, we will calculate here itself. Don't worry then. We are simply calculating covariance and correlation between two stocks right now. This and this. This is the relationship of these two stocks with each other. Now we will be needing to calculate beta. Let's calculate two betas, that is beta of stock and beta with inflation, because
Doctor,
we
we
will
don't take the S&P.
S&P we will be taking for calculating beta. So we will take it here. Just keep watching if you are not understanding. This is the beta with index, which we need for CAPM. And this is the beta with inflation, which we need for APT. Oops. Yeah. So the beta with index, what is the formula? Covariance of stock with the index divided by variance of stock, right? Just a second, it's the covariance of the stock with the index divided by variance of stock, right? Remember the formula of beta? Covariance of stock and index divided by variance of index. Why so much silence? The beta of crude oil with the index is 0.4.
Doctor, can you show the formula again? Yeah.
Covariance of stock with the index divided by variance of index. Here, beta is, you guys forgot the formula or not understanding what I'm doing here? Covariance of stock and the index divided by variance of index. I think I need to show you guys the, where's the folder? Where's the folder? Close your eyes, all of you. Which session we covered the beta?
Doctor, that's why I asked for revision.
I'm giving you revision. I'm telling you the formula of beta. You guys are just silent. Which, Marwan, please help me, man.
Doctor, not last class, before the last class.
Efficient capital market? No. Security market, I guess. I'm just trying to show you the formula of beta I taught you. Here's beta. You guys don't have notes?
We have.
So you don't have the formula of beta?
It's covariance of stock divided by variance of stock market.
Stock, not
You
only
cannot
one.
have
Two stocks,
covariance with one thing.
variance.
You cannot have covariance
You
with
have to
one
choose
thing.
two stocks.
No, when it is about beta, then you're comparing the risk of stock market with the risk of the stock itself. So covariance of one stock with the stock itself. Which chapter did I calculate the beta?
Doctor, I think you didn't do this.
Oh!
I'm not able to recall this topic.
That is the best escape. Put everything on faculty's head.
Doctor, I cannot remember this exact.
Doctor, I have the formula, but why it's
honestly.
wrong?
No, covariance needs to have two, observations or two indexes. So those
Covariance of stock and stock market.
Doctor,
Sabar. I'll show you today. Here's the beta.
Yeah, how I'm gonna pass this course.
I'm just trying to show. Yeah. Here it is.
Oh, you show us this before last class.
This
Yes.
doesn't look like beta.
Let me search the formula for beta. Here's beta calculation. When did we do the beta calculation? We did calculate beta too. And I didn't beta. What is beta actually?
It's the calculation of systematic risk.
Yes.
interest.
It is the risk of stock and the index. How stock is moving. And I was saying if the beta is 0 means the stock has no relationship with the index. If the beta is plus means the stock has direct relationship with the index. If the beta is minus means the stock has inverse relationship with the index.
Doctor, you mean stock market, right? Index.
Yes, stock market. And that is why when we need to calculate beta, we have to compare the covariance of stock price with the stock market, or you can say index. Covariance of stock.
Doctor, can you show us the formula?
That's what I'm searching. Where did I calculate beta with you guys? Please help me. You were saying yes when I was explaining
Doctor,
in the
I
class.
have the formula, but it's not there in the slides. I think you have given from your ebook or something.
From your own assumptions.
I wrote the formula beta covariance by into stock by variance.
Doctor, I find it. 1 second, I will send it here. I capture it.
Tell me the exact slide number. I need to show it to the people around.
It's not a slide,
Going to
Doctor. You wrote it in a document Word.
Right? I explained it in the Word document.
Yes, Doctor, that's right.
So it's not mentioned in the slides. Revised here. Oh, it's not mentioned in the slides. Can you share the Word document or any information you have from that lecture?
Doctor, I don't think we should
Right
any
now,
question
Doctor,
on
that
beta.
lecture.
Man, this is something you need to search in the practice questions too. Beta is equal to the covariance of stock price with the index divided by variance of index. And once I'll search this thing, I'll show you guys.
Doctor, can check the chat box?
Okay. You guys can see my screen?
Yes, Doctor.
So this is beta of any stock equals to covariance of that XYZ with the index by the variance of that index.
Doctor, which document this formula is available?
Oh my God, do you think I'll be remembering exact this document? Man, this is your notes you have to make. Oh my God, I'm behaving so boomer. But when I used to be a student, teacher would be walking around the class and would be talking so quickly, and we had to catch the notes. There was no mobile phone to record or anything, and he was not repeating. Then we had to go to library to match his notes with the books. And you guys are asking me to tell you the exact location of everything. Anyway, beta equals to covariance of stock price with the index divided by variance of the index. We have H&P here. Everything we will be calculating for return. So first we calculated the beta for crude oil. So we took variance for the crude oil and the S&P along with the variance of S&P. Then for gold, we calculated covariance of gold along with the variance of covariance of gold and S&P along with variance of S&P. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Yes. Okay. Doesn't matter whichever you choose first. Now for CAPM we need this beta. Wait for a while for inflation. Come to CAPM. The formula for CAPM is risk-free rate of return. So let's check how much is the interest rate for US because we are considering everything for US.
Doctor, for beta, we will do the first stock with the index and then the second stock with the index, so we can have two beta.
Yes. First, this beta is for the crude oil and this beta is for the gold. Okay. So when we calculated beta for crude oil, so we had to calculate covariance of crude oil with the S&P divided by variance of S&P. When we calculated beta with index with gold, we calculated variance of gold with the S&P divided by variance of S&P. Bring your notes in the project, bring your copies, bring everything you can possibly. And then you have to do all this. This is what I'll be watching that you guys are doing.
Doctor, project is individual?
No, it will be in group. It will be a group of 2 people.
Okay.
Try to grab someone quickly. Okay.
As a backup.
Doctor,
For
we need to select the group member or how is it?
No, you have to select by yourself. And 2 people will be in one group. Okay, now CAPM, the formula equals to, please don't say that I did not tell you. It was risk-free rate of return plus beta into market return
Minus the risk-free.
minus the risk-free. Yes. So CAPM will be telling you value of all of those because CAPM is what you calculate. HPR is what the market is giving. So CAPM here equals to risk-free rate of return for US when you see the rate of return or the interest rate is going on as 0.5%. So this is what we will be taking as our risk-free rate of return, which is 0.5 plus our beta is this one for the CAPM of first I'm calculating the CAPM for the crude oil. CAPM means that return which you are calculating, which can help you to figure out this must be or this should be the value of that stock. So CAPM equals to risk-free return. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, plus beta into this is our market return. Where is that for gold? Yes, this is our market return minus this is our rate of return, risk-free rate of return. Our beta will remain constant, so we will press F4 here so that this M12, which is beta, will remain same for all the observations. 0.5 will remain constant. F3 here for the next time it will has to be changed to F4, F5, F6, and so on. So CAPM says this should be the value. This is CAPM for the crude oil. For CAPM, what is the other thing? Gold equals to risk-free is 0.5 into, no, plus the beta of the gold into our return, which is this one, minus 0.5. Nope, something is wrong here. Oh, I did not make M4 constant. Sorry, F4, it will make the thing constant. Yes, this is the CAPM of gold. Any doubt till here? Any doubt till here, or full of doubts? You cannot know how from where to start. Now, when we calculate APT, the formula is almost same. That is risk-free rate of return plus beta into the market premium plus the beta of the macroeconomics into the market premium. So which means we need one more beta, which we have to calculate here. That is beta of beta with inflation. Yani the variance or the fluctuation of stock price with the variance or the fluctuation of inflation. So how to calculate beta is, first we need to calculate the covariance of stock price, stock return with, where is our index here, inflation, divided by the variance of inflation. Something should happen here. Okay. And beta of inflation with the gold, covariance of gold with inflation divided by variance of. Okay, now for APT, remember what we have learned in our last class, same thing. Our risk-free rate of return is 0.5, we googled that, plus first CAPM, same approach, where we have our beta, which will remain constant, into market premium, which is the market return, minus the risk-free return. Am I going good? The beta of macroeconomics, which is this one, into the premium, which is again this minus 0.5 risk-free return. That is what I was saying. If you will choose more than one macro variable, you have to keep adding that thing here. You have to calculate.
Doctor, can you click on it again?
On what? I explain you again. See here, risk-free return plus beta of stock into market premium, then plus beta of inflation into the market premium. If you have another macroeconomic variable, for example, same thing, GDP, for example, GDP growth. So the data for GDP growth, then you have to calculate beta for GDP growth, and then same thing you have to repeat, beta of GDP growth into the market premium. This was APT for crude oil. And if we calculate APT for gold, first we'll start just like CAPM, risk-free return, plus we will be having beta of first index beta into market premium, which is gold is here, minus risk-free, plus then the beta of inflation with the gold into the market premium. I need to make it constant, sorry. Something here, it has to be constant. And it has to be constant. Here, the second thing constant. This is not constant here. Oof. Beta, every time it has to pick from here. So that's why you have to keep the beta column constant. So here, whenever we are keeping this beta before market premium, press F4 to keep these betas constant. Because beta we have only one column, and this F3 it has to be changed, and F4, F5, F6, these returns. Understanding? Any doubt? So much silence.
No, doctor.
It's just you guys need to practice it as much as possible. And I think 2-3 times you will do, or maybe 1-2 times you will do. Only thing is to enter formula. I showed you how to retrieve data from the real websites and sources, even the risk-free rate of return and everything, then how to calculate that. Okay?
Yes, doctor.
Can I have some cameras for the attendance?
Doctor, you're mute.
Amani and Nasma.
I'm here, doctor.
We are here, doctor.
It's not opening. Hussain Sadiq? What is with Hussain Sadiq? He's getting warnings and all that, but he's still not here. I'm giving absent to Hussain Sadiq, Biam. Yeah. Enough for today, it seems, because I cannot start a new topic now. And I think I have showed you whatever you had to learn till now. Dunya, please keep practice. Okay, well, if you keep practicing, inshallah, you will be comfortable. Melvin, inshallah, we will be meeting in next class. And Alia.
Yes, doctor.
And Abdurrahman, it's up to you, man. Whenever you wish. Okay, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. See you.
Bye.
Have a nice evening, man.
You too.